Hey guys, it's Mrs. Gloom, and I'm here to continue the chapter book we're reading, Middle School: The Worst Years of My Life. Chapter 5: Those Oh So Cruel Rules. The next girl to speak at the assembly was Lexi Winchester. I knew Lexi from my old school, and she was a real nice kid. Still, Jeannie Galetta had my vote. Sorry, Lex. Once the speeches were over, I thought the assembly was done too. No such luck. Mrs. Strickler came back on the microphone and held up a little green book so that everyone could see it. "Can anyone tell me what this is?" Strickler said. "Yeah," Miller the killer mumbled from somewhere behind me. "A complete waste of time." "This," Mrs. Strickler said, "is the Hills Village Middle School Code of Conduct. Everything you need to know about how to behave at school and how not to behave is right here in this book." A bunch of teachers came around and started handing out a copy to each student in the gym. "When you receive yours, open up to page 1 and follow along with me," Strickler said. Then she started reading. Really slowly. Section 1. Hills Village Middle School Dress Code. When I got my copy, I flipped all the way to the back of the book. There were 16 sections and 26 pages total. In other words, we were going to be lucky to get out of this assembly by Christmas. All students are expected to dress appropriately for an academic environment. No student shall wear clothing of a size more than 2 beyond his or her own normal size. Help! That's what I was thinking about then. Middle school had just started, and they were already trying to bore us to death. Please, somebody stop Mrs. Strickler before she kills again. Leo took out a pen and started drawing, something on the inside of the back cover. Strickler turned to the next page and kept reading. Section 2. Prohibited items. No student shall bring to school any electronic equipment not intended for class purposes. This includes cell phones, iPods, cameras, laptop computers. The whole thing went on and on, and on, and on. By the time we got to Section 6, grounds for expulsion, my brain was turning into guacamole, and I'm pretty sure my ears were bleeding too. People always talk about how great it is to get older. All I saw were more rules and more adults telling me what I could and couldn't do in the name of what's good for me. Yeah, well, asparagus is good for me, but it still makes me want to throw up. As far as I could tell, this little green book in my hands was just one long list of ways to get in trouble between now and the end of the school year. Meanwhile, Leo was drawing away like the maniac he is. Every time Strickler mentioned another rule, he scribbled something else on the page in front of him. Finally, he turned it around and showed me what he was working on. All I could think when I saw that picture was, I want to be that kid. He looked like he was having a way better day than I was. And that's when I got an idea. My really stupendous, really, really big idea. It came on like a flash flood. This was the best idea anyone had ever had in the whole history of middle school, in the whole history of ideas. Not only was it going to help me get through the year, I thought it may also save my life here at Hills Village. That is, if I ever actually had the nerve to try it. Chapter 6. Eureka. Did you ever hear the expression breaking every rule in the book? That was it. That was my big idea. Break every rule in the book. Literally. The way I saw it, the HVMS Code of Conduct could be my worst enemy here at school, or if I played it right, I could turn it into my best friend. Oh, sorry, Leo, I mean my second best friend. All it would take was a little bit of work and a ton of guts, maybe 2 tons. Leo knew exactly what I was thinking. The idea had come from his picture, after all. "Go for it," he whispered. "Just pick something out of the book and get started." "Right now?" I whispered back. "Why not? What are you waiting on?" he said. And I guess the answer was 2 tons of guts. I kind of just sat there frozen. So Leo flipped open the book for me and pointed to something on a page without even looking down. When I saw where his finger landed, I almost started having a heart attack. "I can't do that," I told him. "What if someone gets hurt?" "How does this hurt anyone?" Leo said, "except maybe you." Somehow that didn't make me feel any better. "Listen," Leo told me, "you're never going to be one of those people." He pointed at all the student council candidates and jocks and cheerleaders, sitting on chairs that had been set up on the gym floor. "But this," he said, thumping the rule book with his pen, "this is something you can do." "I don't know," I tried lamely. "Or," Leo said, "you can keep going the way you're going, and every day may be just like this one." He shrugged. "It may not be so bad. There's only, 180 school days in a year?" That did it. Okay, I said, and even though my heart was pounding out the Star-Spangled Banner, I got up and walked over to where one of the prison guards, teachers, was standing at the gym floor. "I need a bathroom pass," I told her. "You can wait," she said. Section 8, Strickler boomed over the microphone. We're halfway there. Please, I said, trying to look as much like a pants wetter as possible. The teacher gave a big sigh, like she wished she'd been a lawyer instead. Okay, 5 minutes, she said. 5 minutes was more than enough. I went out to the hall and into the boys' bathroom while she was still watching me. Then I counted to 10 and stuck my head out again. Nobody was around. As far as I knew, the whole school was inside the gym. It was now or never. I sprinted up the hall, around the long way behind the office, and then cut down another hallway through the cafeteria and into an empty stairwell in the back. By the time I found what I was looking for, I had been gone only a minute or two. I stood there, staring at the little red box on the wall. I could just hear Leo now, just like he was right there. Don't think about it, just do it. I flipped the latch, opened the wire cage around the alarm box, and put my finger on the little white handle inside. This is what you call the point of no return. My mission, should I choose to accept it, and all of that. Still, was I crazy? Was I completely nuts for thinking I could pull this off? Yes, I told myself, you are. Okay, I thought, just checking, and I pulled the alarm. Chapter 7, Chaos. I'm not sure what the fire alarm sounded like in the gym, but it was like 10,000 decibels in the stairwell. I covered my ears and sprinted back to the bathroom. The idea was to make it there before the teachers could get everyone lined up and marching outside. Then I could stroll out like I just finished my business and blend in with the crowd. Turns out I didn't need a plan. By the time I got anywhere near the gym, everyone was already running, walking, and for all I know, skipping in every possible direction. I guess Mrs. Strickler hadn't got to the part about what to do if a fire alarm sounds. Section 11. In fact, I could still just hear her over the mic in the gym. Everyone remain calm, line up with your teachers, and proceed in an orderly fashion to the nearest exit. I'm still not sure who she was talking to. It looked like the whole school was already out of there and in the hallway, and in the parking lot, and on the soccer field, and on the basketball courts. I couldn't believe this was all because of me. I felt kind of guilty about it, but it was also kind of amazing. To be honest, only half of that sentence is true. It was more like, I know I should feel bad, but I didn't. Meanwhile, the fire alarm was still blaring. When I found Leo outside, he gave me a big double high five. That's one for execution and one for the idea, he said. Hey, I can't take all the credit, I told him. The idea was half yours. That's true, he said, and he high-fived himself. Then he showed me his drawing again. Check it out. I made some improvements. Opened up my copy of the Code of Conduct. I turned to Section 11, Rule 3. Students shall not tamper with the smoke or fire alarms under any circumstances. Then I took Leo's pen and drew a line right through it. That felt pretty good too. One rule down and, well, the rest to go. Chapter 8, My Homepage. On the bus ride home that afternoon, everyone was talking about my little fire drill. It was a rush, sitting there and knowing they were all talking about me. Of course, everything good has to come to an end. Before long, I was getting off the bus and walking through the front door of my house. Meet my future stepfather, also known as the low point of my day. His name is Carl, but we just call him Bear. 2 years ago, he was just a customer at the diner where my mom works. Now somehow, Mom has a ring on her finger and Bear lives with us. That's Ditka. Bear's lame excuse for a guard dog. Ditka knows all about attack, but not so much about down or stop. He usually tries to eat my face for an after-school snack. Ditka, down! Down, Bear said, coming out of hibernation as I walked through the door. Bear pulled Ditka off me and then flopped back on his bear-shaped place on the couch. Hey, Squirt, how was the first day? He calls me Squirt. Do I even have to point that out? School was unbelievable, I said. I sort of met this amazing girl, and then I set off the fire alarm during an assembly. Okay, that's not what I really said, but it wouldn't have mattered if I did, 'cause Bear's not exactly a good listener. Uh-huh, he said. He reached up and stretched, his workout for the day. Did you sign up for football yet? Nah, I said, took a couple of pudding cups out of the fridge and kept moving toward my room. Why the heck not, he yelled after me. Football's the one thing you're actually good at. Don't worry, I didn't forget I'm a loser, I said as I zoomed down the hall. Did you just call me a loser? Bear roared back. No, I called myself a loser, I said, and slammed the door. Loser. Like I said, he's the low point of my day. Bear and Mom had just gotten engaged this summer over the 4th of July. That's when Bear moved in. Mom asked Georgia and me what we thought about it before she said yes. But what were we going to tell her? You're about to get engaged to the world's biggest slug? I don't think she would have listened anyway. Now, Mom was working double shifts at the diner all the time, just to make enough money, and Bear was spending 99% of his time on our couch, except maybe to go to the bathroom or collect his stupid unemployment check. Bottom line, my mom was way too good for this guy, but unfortunately, neither of them seemed to know it.